First, a signal molecule binds to a G protein-linked receptor. Then, an inactive G protein with a GDP molecule attached makes its way to the G protein-linked receptor. Once it is binded with the receptor, the GDP becomes GTP and the G protein is activated. The activated G protein heads towards the inactive enzyme. The G protein binds to the enzyme, and through the use of an ATP, a CAMP molecule is created. This molecule binds to an inactive protein kinase and activates it. The activated protein kinase phosphorylates other proteins, which results in a cellular response. In this case, the response is the release of calcium ions from the ER. Signal molecules, also known as ligands, head towards the tyrosine-kinase receptors. These ligands bind to the receptors, which causes them to join. Then, an ATP activates the receptor by leaving a phosphate and becoming ADP. This must happen 6 times for the receptor to be fully activated. Next, inactive relay proteins approach the tyrosine kinase receptors. They bind to the phosphates and carry them to the protein kinase. The activated relay protein binds to the protein kinase and activates it using the phosphate molecule. The activated protein kinase phosphorylates other proteins, which results in a cellular response. In this case, the response is the release of calcium ions from the ER. Normally, an epinephrine signal molecule binds to a G protein-linked receptor, which results in the activation of a G protein. The activated G protein travels to the inactivated enzyme and binds with it to activate it. Then the enzyme uses an ATP molecule to produce CAMP. This CAMP molecule would initiate a phosphorylation cascade, which would result in a cellular response. When CAMP molecules build up in the cell, cyclic nucleotide phosphodiesterase, also called cAMP-PDE, converts CAMP into a non-cyclic adenosine monophosphate, also known as AMP. When caffeine is present in the cell, it inhibits cAMP-PDE by binding to the side of the enzyme that usually binds to CAMP. So cAMP-PDE cannot change CAMP into AMP. This buildup of CAMP molecules can result in the symptoms of increased heart rate and slowed digestion, also known as the fight-or-flight response. Caffeine helps to keep you awake and alert, which is usually why so many people make use of it. A possible treatment would be stop drinking or eating products containing caffeine.